I just heard opening and closing doors or something.
From the Smash game, we weren't on a 2-minute delay, so I'm putting it on there now. But all right, everybody, welcome back. You'll hear this in approximately 2 minutes from your time. We are still waiting on the lobby code. ECAC general chat is currently being an entire meme, but we're gonna get it sorted here for sure. Yes, we'll also be competing within ECAC Trio No Builds, so we look forward to this on tomorrow as well, which should definitely be fun.
Hopefully our, team chemistry will pull through.
Oh yeah, no, sure. And No Build, honestly, a little bit of a, in my opinion, inferior game mode. I know it's going to anger people, but the ability to really just focus on gunplay. Honestly, you could make the claim that it makes you a better player overall in terms of your positioning, rotations, and kind of what actually defines Fortnite. But the building is just such a key component that you can't neglect. So it's one of those things where you have to find the cover. You can't build it for yourself. So.
Very true, but you also got to keep in mind it brought Fortnite back from going downhill back up, and better aim for everything. I'll just help you out and be like a better player.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll be excited to watch you play tomorrow, and excited to cheer on the boys on Saturday as well as they take on Nace Open Qualifier number 3, in which Sonny, you'll get some matches in.
Yeah.
I heard we might see some Fortnite costumes as well. That'll be fun in the player face cams. We'll definitely have to see that for sure.
We'll see. Switch up.
All right, we are now approaching 8:40, and it is look like we are going to have the match commence. We're going to go ahead and transition over to our gameplay, and we're going to be starting live with the POV of none other than our captain, the one and only Ethan Telly G, looking to bring us into game 1. Now we should all right. It looks like we are going to have a left to right zone pull overall. And it looks like it is going to be a hot drop off the rip. So the boys are going to immediately pull. All right, take the coin flip, Santi. Are we contested? What do you think?
So far it doesn't seem like it. I think what's going to be contested is going to be shattered right next to us, so we're going to be having players rotating in from there. But that shouldn't be an issue right off of the bat.
Looks like we can identify Radford is still going to the northward tower, but does look like Jacob is going to be uncontested when it does come to house spawn. So we'll be live with him. And that is an extremely loud game. Let's try to go ahead and turn that down a little bit. Let me see and make sure that all the audio is good on your guys' perspective. Yep. All right, audio should be consistent now. There you go. Very cool. Not sure why Ethan's stream is so quiet while Jacob's is IMAX Theater loud, but we will have to figure that out here. Let's try to transition one more time just to make sure that it is working correctly. Yeah, this is weird. Okay, well, gonna have to have two separate
Audio setting.
audio settings for two separate streams, but that's okay. We're gonna get it going. Jacob is looking to just continue to farm up here and watch over towards the houses as well. With it being such a dead lobby already in terms of 60 teams alive, boys really looking to mat up in terms of making sure to get all that brick and wood before we're leaving Peninsula. We are going to be in zone here as well, so we do have to ask where is it pulling. Honestly, with this zone, hard to say. Hard to say if it's down kind of past hotel or if it's going to be kind of up, and maybe we have to go challenge Radford up the hill as well. All right. Boys are going to be getting themselves back to max HP. And we are going to see Ethan making sure to do his due diligence, scouting ahead. Now, we're not going to be picking up the ice gloves today, but definitely a pickup for tomorrow in terms of the no build. Honestly, very, very broken when it comes to, you know, traditional portaforts and stuff like that. Boys just continuing their farming. Almost sitting at 5-5 for both of them now in terms of the advantage they will have by the time they're looking to rotate off of the beach and hopefully up into kind of their mid-game rotations. You have to be slightly worried about the hill, though. Not seeing a ton of the boys eyeing it up, just to be careful. We'll have to see if they rotate to the metal containers, trying to max on their mat before heading uphill. Definitely excited to see the boys take their first ECAC fight. You know, Nace able to push teams pretty effectively in the mid game, and I think that should be even a little bit easier here within ECAC since it's a little bit of a smaller league. So definitely excited to see what they can do, and you know what position, of course, but placement is important. I don't know if you got to see the placement factor here, but while eliminations are worth more than an ace, placement is worth even more. So definitely that is kind of the focus here from the boys as we are entering zone number 1. Finally, looks like it's moving. And it does look like we are going to be eyeing up towards Quarry. Potentially looking to third party. If I didn't actually see a team landing Quarry, did you, Sonny? Okay. If it's no team Quarry, then the boys might just have their, oh my goodness, and in just absolutely fly somebody. And it looks like they are going to go down. Good pressure. That is a laser from Ethan. They are going to continue to pressure. Good tags, but is going to shockwave away. Wow, they can just continuing to run, really. Although I don't anticipate Storm. Definitely some good damage done there with the ARs. I barely saw him. He flew in off the right of the screen. But a good job for the boys to stay on their toes in terms of being ready for whatever comes their way, whether it's a flying man in the sky or a fight that we look to actually cognitively take knowingly. Yeah, I do see that. Looks like I think Jacob has pinged the rocket ram, so definitely going to have some forms of rotations, whether it be shocks or rocket rams for both of them. Excited to see where zone looks to pull. Also going to be finding the splashes as well. Yeah, it does look like it's going to be more of that like lower right fields pull, just by eyeing it up really quickly, which is fine with me per se. am curious as to what the rift location that just spawned next to us is. Whether it be a Mats or maybe it's a triple llama again.
Lightsaber spawn?
Ah, yes, lightsabers, because we are currently in an unranked match, which means lightsabers are a thing. Now, thankfully, the boys have something that we call a brain in between both of their ears, so we're thankfully not going to be going for and or taking that. But I can actually only imagine how broken that would be in a close range box fight scenario. Just being able to, I don't know if you remember the good old Mongol shing shing
Yes.
shing clip, but that definitely comes to mind in terms of if the lightsaber is going to be in play.
But even going there, you got the force push, which could be helpful in some top build instances. But
Yeah, and it looks like we are going to go for the sticky launcher, legendary edition too. That is definitely going to be doing some damage in terms of if there are any wooden build fights or anything of the sort that we can look to third party as well. And I mean, the boys are. I mean, we're sitting pretty. Good mats, good current positioning. Do have to determine kind of where we want to potentially maybe move to. But really, I mean, more than anything, 48 players alive, I believe, at that count. And if that is the count, then that's at max 24 teams, which means already placement. Once we get into that top 7, that's really where placement starts to matter. So definitely looking for them to be consistent in terms of placing there specifically throughout today's matches, especially with only 3. Really no throwaway games in terms of making sure that we're consistent on that. Boys are doing a good job of just observing their surroundings. Make sure that we don't get any sort of surprise rotation patterns or anything of the sort. It looks like we're going to start moving our way towards fields as intended. Oh my goodness. And what in the luck of pull. Ethan is going to pull a legendary sharp-tooth shotgun. Whew. That is godsend out of that chest. Is going to be the best teammate in the world. Hand it off to Jacob there. Sandy, I don't know about you, man, but I don't know if I'm handing that off. I think I'm keeping that for me.
that is solely mine, hands off.
Solely mine, hands off. There you go.
Until I die and you reboot me, that's all yours.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. All right, we are going to see zone continue to pull to the upward right. Are going to be having more lightsabers entering the fray as well, but thankfully not having to worry about any of those at the moment. I think that it will really create the need to keep some spacing though. If you really think about it, because I'm sure that not every team is going to be like us and not use it. But the looks like we are going to go ahead and build and get legendary cash right out of the gate. And we do see Ethan is actually going to go ahead and make the call to move over to the bush. Cash has been started, but that doesn't mean that they can't bait it in terms of, they'll get the loot, have their cake and eat it too, per se. But I agree, especially, looking to build out of wood there. You definitely want a little bit of a harder material, maybe a brick, maybe a metal. But this way, maybe they can look at a team that's too focused on it, thinking that there is a team in there. Maybe go for the spray that way. Probably my favorite addition to the game is Visualize Audio, which has completely taken away the need for headphones to play Fortnite. Actually initially first popularized by, I don't know if you knew the comp player, but there was a competitive girl comp player who was deaf, actually, that played with Visualize Audio. And that is kind of how it was spawned, but definitely now seen as more of a gimmick to make sure that, no one catches you by surprise or anything like that. Absolutely. But I mean, look at this loot. I mean, just insane, both in terms of the slurps and also just all legendary weaponry. You do have to ask the boys, are we getting a little too loot focused at this point? We want to definitely make sure placement wise, but also elimination wise is also equally as important. All right, the boys finding a secondary sticky launcher, and it does look like that is going to be the potential combination of dealing the explosive damage to builds that we would need. Still going to find ourselves on the south side of fields as we do look to rotate into zone. Lots of good meds here in terms of slurps and all the rest. Boys might have to be careful, maybe pay the wood tax. You know, I don't know about you, I get a little nervous around these fields. You know, always the potential for somebody to be really hiding in one of the bushes. And I think we might see a dojo pulp. Actually, we don't. That's sort of interesting. It actually is going to actually go more towards the middle of the map. We are going to see a team look to be gliding in as well. It looks like the boys are maybe going to see if they can walk up on this quietly, maybe go for a beam. Yeah, definitely good to keep your wits about you. You know, obviously, of course, you know, with the legendary shotguns, if Ethan can get a solid, you know, 120, 140 pump, this could be the end of somebody really, really quickly. Doing a good job of playing their spacing. And it is going to be just the immediate hard pump. Boys are going to be looking to take the build fight as quick as possible. Are regrouped together. Looks like one is going to go down as well. And the pressure is going to come out from Ethan as well. Trying to isolate the last remaining player. And that is going to do it. Both players picked up on the side of UMW. Good job, boys, utilizing those launchers. And what a sneak up with the quick 165 pump. Now, definitely important to restabilize. You know, we want to make sure that we aren't ourselves getting crouched up on either. And it looks like the boys will do just that in terms of looking to identify and see if any other players are incoming. Now, it doesn't seem that anybody is going to be found. Boys are going to go ahead and use some of those extra mats that they did see just to kind of go ahead and establish some presence and some space. Gotta love that. Just doing a good job of just securing themselves down a little bit in terms of builds. Really good. I mean, we got good cone peaks. We got plenty of mats, and not a bad spot to be. Also, not a lot of natural height out here in the fields, you know. So definitely, you know, finding ourselves up on a slightly elevated position in terms of not only the hill but the build fight we've kind of just been on top of. Definitely not a bad situation. I think the boys can do a good job. You know, we found those 2 eliminations in the mid game. Now we can kind of more so play it slow, wait and see if anyone else rotates into us on the backside, but then kind of, you know, take zone in our own terms in terms of when we do decide to move. Yeah, making sure to utilize appropriate cone peeking for information. Gotta love that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just being extra safe, you know, especially like I said in these matches where placement means so much, you know, no reason to take unnecessary poke damage when you have the extra materials. Just, you know, even if it's a little bit of information you can utilize, there's so many ways to gain that information for free without taking damage. So. All right, now zone does look like it might be a Mega City hill pull, which, you know, there's definitely that situation of a place to be, but actually we are going to go live with Ethan, who is going to be spying someone, is going to actually get the laser and the crack. 52 white as well. One more ought to do it. He's wearing balloons. Sonny, would you be wearing balloons in this situation?
Absolutely.
Absolutely not. Agreed. Not in zero builds, not in builds either. And the boys are going to look to continue to isolate the space. Wow, it is like shooting fish in a barrel here for UMW. Do have to ask if they're going to hard commit to chase. Now, it's kind of like what you said before, you know, you get one down and you get the quick finish, but, you know, do you necessarily need to go for more? You know, it's always about that placement. Got to be careful. Oh, and it looks like the boys have identified a car behind as well. Going to be looking to do some poke damage towards it. Oh, doing a good job just to make sure the presence is known. Team is going to potentially be boxed and look to fight. The double 70 from the explosive launcher. And it's going to be a battle of who can explode who first. 65 white on one. Yeah, Ethan potentially looking to make the space known, but obviously you got to be careful about these explosive launchers, you know, especially since,
Fight now.
yeah, now is quickly becoming a storm fight. Ethan
Good shockwave.
is going to shockwave up as well.
Looks like a third party as well coming into line.
Is going to be, oh, good damage. Boys do have to be careful. Right hand peek, but it is going to be, yep, the 2v1 situation. Their boys are going to be able to clear it up. And, you know, we've got slurps, all that. So we're good to tank Storm, still at 1 tick. But we do have to be worried about that secondary player. Or if any teams within Storm do turn around to potentially look to start sticky launching, could be a problem. And boys are going to go ahead and just hard mat, create some space within zone as well. Potentially turning around to see if they can hold the one remaining player. Who it does look like he has, you know, from Ethan's perspective, it does look like he has tunneled in. It's more so a matter of where is the player. Oh, but zone. What a zone pull.
Dead center. Right
Look at this. Dead center. The boys are going to recognize it and go ahead and try to position themselves correctly in terms of for some height. You have to be slightly worried about the team that is located up on top. But I mean, you know, the sky's the limit here in terms of as long as the boys don't get snuck up on, you know, they can go ahead, take this time, refarm a little bit that they need to. But we're looking good. We're looking good positionally wise, and with only 24 players left, top 12 positioning wise, we're sitting good. You have to be worried about where is that solo, you know? Now, zone is, of course, pulling back towards, technically towards where they came from.
getting shot.
The boys are going to just make sure to really secure their builds here. You know, they've done a good job of making sure that they, you know, they're second best height right now, really, positioning wise they are. And they might be able to together look to spray any teams that might be looking to rotate as well. Oh, and there is, it does sound like there is going to be a flyer or two rotating in. Got to be careful not to open up too much. It's going to be the nice double spray coming out for the boys in terms of positioning. Does sound like opposite height is also taking engagements as well. Boys are ultimately going to decide to move first. Go ahead and pay the shotgun tax to every bush. Smart call by the boys.
Doing that first tag.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You got to pay the shotgun tax. You know, for the bullet economy, for what it's worth, it's just rather, you know, throw what you know, right? In terms of just making sure that we can get what we need.
Rocket Ram sliding in.
Yep.
Laser from Jacob, he's cracked.
Yep, there is 2 rocket rams that are coming in towards them. Boys are doing their best to just feel free to go ahead and suppress this. At the same time, though, zone is far, and there is going to be further tags done as well. Boys ultimately deciding to continue to look for positioning past this point. Don't want to risk unnecessary. Boys are going to be building to create some space. Ethan is going to find himself with game time, which means he will have access to the splashes as well. Are going to get together really quickly just to make sure that they are both maxed max before we look to move. Not taking the snap splashes, I mean, I think it could be okay, given the fact that, you know, we got to make sure that we look to rotate together. And it does look like we are going to do so, finding ourselves in zone. Should be looking to build with hards here. And they are going to box up as well. You have to be careful of that sticky launcher, like I said. Ethan is going to be identifying the team to the south as well. Maybe looking for a double sticky launcher, but ultimately it does look like they are going to... Yep, and that is going to be sticky launchers that are going to be getting in. Looks like the boys are going to need to create some space as well, and they will. look to utilize and fall back. Unfortunately, boys do seem like they might be becoming the lobby focus. Are going to move uphill slightly just to eliminate some of that possibility. Is going to see that one of them is beamed as well. But the pressure is going to continue, especially with the sticky launchers. Looks like there will be one team shockwaving. One team is going to be running close by. Looks like the call is going to be to begin the rotate, sending Ethan ahead, potentially pre-box. It looks like Jacob will be the one boxing close. Looking to potentially join him. Is going to drop down now. Does have to be careful, especially with the sticky launcher. Do not want to find ourselves in one box situation. It looks like the boys will ultimately decide to hang here. Less is more. Positioning and placement is important. Now the boys are going to elect to stay under the bridge. I do like this call, but unfortunately not a ton of materials. Are going to potentially get a reset and a shockwave, which is actually crucial for Ethan to be able to keep up. With Jacob. Is going to look to rocket ram, but unfortunately they are underneath the bridge. Oh my gosh, is going to be the pump by Ethan. Boys are going to be spam building to try to prevent. Is one team that is on height. You have to be careful about not getting looked at. Ethan is going to absolutely laser height as well.
Perfectly balanced MK coming right there.
Looks like the pressure is going to be continued up towards the height as well. Ethan is going to say, I want it. Shockwave is going to come straight up, but unfortunately, Ethan shockwaved deep into a heavy ticking zone. And he is going to be dead to Storm. Are going to be live with Jacob. There is at least two behind. Keeping the builds. Is going to be playing for placement, which is the smart call. 5 alive, 4 alive. And we are going to be placing third place with eliminations in match number 1. Overall, not bad. I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, in total, I think it was about six total eliminations plus third place, which is definitely not bad consistency in terms of both placement and elimination points. But we will be right back with you once game 2 commences in just a second. Don't go anywhere. Chat, for anybody listening, I want you all to know that my go-to order for Chipotle is gonna be a bowl with a side tortilla. All right, you gotta keep it real. Okay, you go brown rice, black beans. Okay, your choice of whether chicken or steak. You're feeling fancy, pinky up, maybe go for steak. Otherwise, revert to chicken. You're gonna put some mild salsa on that, and then I generally like to go with the corn, cheese, lettuce combo. Sometimes I'll throw guac in there, but if I'm planning on saving for some of it for later, it gets a little bit too wet, too messy. You don't want to do that. And then also sometimes I'm feeling the lettuce. Other times you can miss me with it. It's honestly, it's there for the visual that it's healthy, right? But at the same time, it's chicken. It's a chicken and rice bowl at the end of the day, right? Like, it's pretty healthy as is. But how about you? What's your go-to?
So for me, it's usually a bowl.
Okay, a bowl.
Feeling, bowl, probably a white rice.
White rice. Okay.
Black or pinto beans.
Okay, pinto's a little iffy for me, but I'll take it for you. Sure.
And then me, for one, I'm always a chicken guy, so I always go for either double or normal scoop of chicken.
Okay. Ooh, double scoop for chicken. Okay.
I say double, but it's usually whenever I check my bank account, I'm like, I can afford it.
I see.
But that, gotta go with the tomatoes, corn,
Mm-hmm.
some sour cream, and then
Sour cream, really?
Yeah.
Man, the only thing sour cream belongs on is a nice sweet potato. Other than that,
That is very
I'm
debatable,
not sure about that on a Chipotle bowl. Anybody in chat agrees, they can feel free to.
Put that and then finish it off with some cheese.
Now here's the real question. Although it's like an extra $5.50, do you ever go with the chips and queso?
Absolutely.
Absolutely not. Oh,
No.
You can miss them.
I miss them.
Yo,
I have chips at home. I have the $3 chips that come in like a family size bag from Giant.
that is the play. And let me guess, you go with like the home queso too. The one with the what is that? What's that brand? It's the Tostitos brand queso.
Yeah. Their salsa too.
Yo, the sauce is pretty good. Now, do you go with the mild or like the like slightly hot?
No, I go with the hot.
You go with the hot? Okay,
Always.
okay, that's fair.
You go mild?
I do. It depends. It depends on what's in the pantry, to be honest with you.
We'll say it. Bowl or a quesadilla usually. Quesadilla is quick snack for me.
Sure. I just take the side quesadilla, like the side tortilla is honestly just like a quick, I equivalent it to you going to Panera, and when you get the side baguette, even if you're not hungry for it, you'll just munch it real quick for the calories. It's not a thing. You just go for it. For anyone that's in chat, no pico. Oh,
I go
pico.
I go pico. Mark doesn't.
They're a little too far from the mic. Yeah, I know. He's more of secondary side commentary. But pico de gallo, it's good. It's not. I don't know. Pico's not for me, I guess.
Well, if you're quote unquote a side tortilla, do you just eat it straight or do you like make like a small burrito?
Mm-hmm. Thank you to everybody that is continually tuning in. It looks like we are going to be switching some stuff up going into next week, ECAX on Thursdays, but we won't be streaming No Build tomorrow, but we will be having at least one more match of Fortnite tonight in terms of from ECAX side of standpoint. So apologies for the delay. Understand that it's not optimal, but the boys did play good in terms of game one. We're excited for game two and then to maybe get the dub this time. That'd be sick. So we'll see what happens in just a minute. Yo, we appreciate that shout out, Steph. Go, Jacob. Let's go. Let's go. We are still waiting for code number 2, and it should be within the next 5 minutes. So apologies for the delay, but know that there are some very funny memes being put in chat, in the general ECAG chat. Hard to believe it's a college league, but we'll be getting there in just one moment. All right, everybody, we are back with Clown College University, and today we are going to be watching Fork and Knife. No spoon in the drawer, but Sandy, we are getting ready to witness what is going to be a full game 3, game 2 question mark lobby. Definitely very excited to see what comes of it. Everybody dropping Mega City thoughts.
You know, at this point, just gotta send it.
Honestly, love it. Love the energy. Love the energy. All right, and we are initiating the travel to the match. So we are going to go ahead and jump on over. We are getting into technical game 2. Game 3, question mark. Will it count? We're not sure. We're going to figure it out. This is Fortnite. We're live. Let's get it. It's going in right now. A full lobby, baby. That's what we love to see.
Gotta love the new looks. You know, they both went for the same old skin.
Mhm.
That'll be.
Yeah, we are rocking the double bumblebee, as it is said, and it is going to be another hot drop. So, am loving this. Honestly, you know what? I hope we're con. Let's bring it on. Like, you know what? Honestly, though, I think the boys are ready. They're set. I think we've got our drop. Let's honestly, can we let a team land on us? That would be absolutely sick. I would love to see it. Let's see.
As of right now, though, it does not look like we're con.
No, it does not. I think everybody took the Go Mega City. Literally, not even a single team went resort. Actually, no, wait. Maybe one team going resort. Didn't get the full confirmation on that. Either way, we're probably going to start it off live with Jacob as he looks to take house. Congratulations, Jacob, on the level up. 116, baby. I'm just kidding. All right, we're gonna tune in quickly with our man, the Telly G, on the outskirts, doing what he does best, hitting heads, both for farming and for shotgun shots. So. A full lobby. Now, you know, we did talk to the boys briefly in intermission here and did say that, you know, if this was going to be a full, you know, match 2 lobby, definitely the placement becomes even more important if you really think about it, right? Especially if we are going to actually only get to play 2 games tonight, you know, sort of depends on the situation of what occurs, but it just makes it even more valuable, really.
Pick up a thermal. How do you feel about that?
You know what? Thermal in build, not the biggest fan. Think I would rather go for an AR. Now, thermal in no build, I think can be extremely broken if you abuse the range of it. Especially since if you think about no build, right, with all the bushes and stuff and having that capability to kind of fight back, you know, really level the playing field on that front. I think it can really be beneficial and really work effectively. Let's go live with Jacob, see what he's up to. Just chilling, farming, looking like he's going to be working his way towards main beach as Ethan is going to be cleaning up the rest of Peninsula House. Yeah, what do you think your favorite augment is right now? And there's only one right answer, so let's hear it.
First shotgun.
Okay, you know what? I'll take that. There was a different one that I had in mind personally, but I think I will take that answer.
What about yours?
Dude, it has to be party time. Think about it. Do not think about it. Like, in terms of the meds it provides for, like, a button click, it's crazy.
for a shotgun, like, you got one of them absolutely just beams right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we should potentially be looking to stack up on the meds. It looks like we are. Will the boys be... No, I think we're just being precautious of what potentially could be up the hill, but does not look like anything is spotted at the current moment. So like the precaution, like I said, that's the one drawback to this. Really good materials, but you have to be careful about that positioning. And it does look like the boys are going to say, you know what? Let's go give Logan a visit. Looks like we're going to be pushing Radford. Oh, but actually, it was a llama that was spotted. Okay. Okay, boys are going to look to potentially box up on the llama as well. Let's see if he can get the 150 pump. 150 pump is going to come out. Really good accuracy here. Hasn't missed a shot. Going for the pickaxe. And that is going to do it. Mythic splashes as well. Almost max mats. And I'm sure Jacob will double dip on that as well. Just to make sure that we are full capped. It does look like, yeah, we are. For sure, for sure. All right. Ammo as well going to be split as we look to potentially go say hello to our boys.
St. Andrews.
No, not St. Andrews. Radford is the one that lands here on tower close, but I believe there might be a team quarry close by. We're just going to be taking more of a little bit of a peek-see and seeing what is what. Always get nervous around these bushes. No shotgun tax paid immediately, but I understand that, you know. A little early in the game for rats, don't you think? But you know what? If Ratatouille's taught us anything, they can be in the walls, so gotta be careful about that. Light fingers as well. The boys definitely did see them come in on the land, right? I'm pretty sure they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, did for sure. It just doesn't seem... It just doesn't seem looted, though.
Anything.
Yeah, that's the thing. You know, did they maybe peel off? There's no way they were conned.
Idiot land and then dip? What do you think?
Well, boys are gonna go ahead and just... I mean, take the tower. Worst case scenario, better vision, right? Getting up on top and being able to kind of see what is what. Maybe looking around to see if there is any teams. But no, yeah, it definitely isn't looted. So have to wonder if maybe, you know, maybe they're a little scared. Maybe they pushed off the spot.
Switched up.
Yeah, they did look like they're switching it up. But we are going to be moving now towards quarry. Ooh, is going to be a max zone pull. In terms of what looks like we could end our way up over by... What is the new POI that's replaced the Stormwing hangars? It's just like another resort, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's another vault.
I think so.
I think it's where the Medias miniguns are, but I don't know for sure. It does look like we are going to spy some building up the way. Quarry has already been claimed, including the flags. Storm Tower is also going to be a bit far. Always going to take the zip line, potentially. And it is going to be the double beam to 78 blue. Will the boys look to potentially make the cross? A little bit dangerous.
Teammate coming out from behind there.
Oh,
30
teammate
right
is
there.
going to actually laser Jacob. And it is going to be sticky launchers as well. Boys potentially looking to create space and are going to fall back instead. Oh my god, Jacob, literal one. Jacob is going to reply with some good damage. The boys do have to be a bit careful here. Both in terms of potentially teams behind, but also we just burned a lot of brick for that. But ultimately able to stabilize. Could have been a little bit scary, but ultimately works out in our favor.
See a third party coming out through here. Absolutely.
Nope, not the third party. I think they're just looking to potentially fall off, actually, more than anything. But, and again, oh, it is going to be a reboot back on our initial plateau, back where we were. And also, with only 58 people alive, once again, we do have to ask the question of, you know, maybe we should just look to go northbound. But, oh, it does look like they're potentially getting third-partied as well. Yeah, it is going to be the Storm that is tanked. They're going to look to splash as well, but maybe looking to prioritize the white meds in a way that they can rotate effectively for Storm. Yeah, unsure about that one, but you know, I think we're more so worried, just more than anything at the moment, about just making sure that we're getting out of Storm alive at the moment. So, not too worried. They do have eyes on a team. Oh, and that team does look to be looks to be potentially engaging. Boys are doing a good job of potentially flanking. If they can get behind this team, it would be a solid laser. They are going to just look to maintain. Not much information. Our shots are going to be on. Is going to be enough damage to crack. But once again, they are fighting in Storm. Like I said, this is going to be one of those situations where, you know, us fighting in Storm, not necessarily... Oh, but it is going to be a quick elimination that is going to be picked up by Ethan. The question is that if only one fell, who did the other fall to? And the boys are just going to decide to keep moving. Take the free elimination, but not double dip their hand in the cookie jar. Just be moving to zone instead. Definitely think it's actually a good call. Especially since you have no idea how the other player went down. Rather not to risk it. Ethan doing a good job keeping his head on a swivel. There you go. And it does look like... Yeah, we're going to use another... attack sprint stamina. The boys do have to be worried about this zone, though. It is like a decently max pull. And with 4 seconds already, I mean, it is a one tick, but like we don't have that much whites left, you know. We've definitely got to be careful about that. Also want to make sure we're refarming on the way. You know, materials ultimately are going to what, you know, our legs are what is going to get us there, but honestly, our materials is what is going to get us there safely. So definitely have to make sure that we utilize this correctly. You know, really shouldn't be looking to fight here. Boys are kind of just putting eyes on. Potentially looking to 3, 2, 1, but ultimately just a little bit too slow. Are going to get that shield to be popped. But unfortunately, this is not where the boys like to be. The jungle is, unfortunately, their downfall in many of these tournaments that we have been playing. You know, a lot of bushes, a lot of teams can be waiting in here. You have to be very diligent, very cautious every turn. They are going to hear some HP. And the zip line. Problem is the boys can't follow, you know, without making the audio cue. Looks like they are going to look to maybe quiet build. Quiet build on top. You know, I'm okay with this play. Let's see what happens. Continuing to move into Storm. We have enough whites for this, but if we were to find ourselves in a large-scale third-party situation, especially this close to edge, you know, that's where it could get really, really iffy really quickly. Especially as not only does Storm continue to pull, but Island, too, located right on top of where the boys are going to be coming in at.
This play, would you go Island, Mike?
You know what? I wouldn't necessarily go Island, but I might look to double dip a Rift, to be honest. You know, not a bad situation to look to play safely. Of course, mats-wise across the board, you know, we do see about 600 each. But really, like I said, you know, just we have been really, really careful about this jungle rotate thus far, and, you know, I'm more than content with that given the situation. That ultimately deciding to move for zone. 37 players left alive, I do believe. Like I said, boys potentially looking to refarm on the way, but really want to make sure positionally they continue to move. Especially since we hear fighting behind us in Storm as well. Definitely not the priority. Want to make sure we're moving first. Definitely looking to also still mat up. You know, some of these ice rocks give insane levels of material. I think it's like 100 each. Sort of crazy.
That one.
130. Wow, that's crazy. The boys do find ourselves in zone already, but the question is now, how deep will they decide to continue to move? Now, if it's me personally, I think I'm running. Now, we are going to be getting shot at from behind, are going to burn a little bit of wood just in terms of the safety of the rotate. Do like this play because, you know, we are struggling a little bit when it comes to shields. You know, we're max HP now, but that could quickly look to change. Decision is to continue to move uphill, and I agree with it. Especially because if they find themselves next to these rocks, actually, you can almost fully just box up and refarm. But decision is to move away from island, which I appreciate. I think that there's still going to be a lot of teams that are looking to fight, which the boys are not looking to do. You know, we're looking to pick up eliminations, sure, but not necessarily hard commit to fights, given the fact that this is only game 2. Now there is a team actually, a player, actually maybe one individual player that did just fly in. Damage is going to be done, and it is going to be the knock, the absolute beam out of the air by Jacob. Unfortunate that we missed it here on stream, but we'll have to see if the boys elect to finish. And it does look like the W key is going to be on. I think the boys are looking to potentially take this mid-game fight. Another elimination to, actually no, that is the finish on the elimination that was. Ethan doing a good job of also making sure to frag for pressure and presence. Honestly, boys, more than anything, should be looking to find themselves up on top of the mountain, maybe. Yeah, it looks like they're
maybe the move.
Yeah, I mean, I think it should be the move. You know, maybe the more we can sneak up on somebody, especially if we can get a quick elimination, you know, extra mats, and then looks to box from there. Even if we're only, you know, a little bit up the mountain, not the full way. I mean, this is going to be one of those rotates that if it pulls on the other side or if it pulls close, is going to be either like a lobby killer or like a lobby saint. It's either going to help everybody in terms of the rotate, or it's going to eliminate everybody in terms of the pull. So thankfully the boys do have some shockwaves to work with. Are going to be putting down some damage as well. Is a sniper shot, but that is going to be deflected with the wood. Yeah, really good quick save. Now, a team is already going to be finding themselves up top. So they are looking to establish themselves slightly, and will do so as well. Yeah, oh no, we definitely got some rounds that are pinging off. There you go. Boys find themselves comfortably in a secondary height position, similarly to what we saw in game 1. And from here now, it's really just more about, just kind of establishing that presence. And kind of looking to move from there. They are actually going to hear the zip line, on a team that is potentially close. Looks like the boys are going to be doing just a quick mat or ammo split. Want to be checking out the current situation as it unfolds. Zone is the nastiest pull, and honestly, if I'm the boys here, I think maybe to crank. Honestly, maybe crank to the commit. Yeah, and it looks like that actually potentially could be the call as well, as the boys are going to look to continue to build up and establish potentially lobby pressure. Really, I mean, this is. I mean, as long as no team wraps them close, I mean, the amount of pressure that they have from this position is actually best in the lobby. Yeah, and the other mountain is going to have to move too. And I mean, you have to ask yourself, you know, are we going to get like hard griefed or conned with a rocket ram? You know, that is a potential. But granted, thinking about where we are, it would have to be a real intentional grief. You know, there'd be a really hard fight to win for anyone coming up, for the risk of being beamed as well. So really, you know, finding ourselves in a good spot here. Yep, and it is going to be not only the beam, but it is going to start to be a good level of lobby focus as well. On marker, full wood team is going to get the crack as well. Boys do have to be a little bit conservative with this AR ammo, but doing a good job of ensuring that no teams can rotate for free from this dead side. And if you really think about it, while I appreciate the focus that they're doing, if they focus their attention back down the hill where they came from, making sure nobody could walk up behind them, they all but guarantee themselves height. You know, right now, I mean, don't get me wrong, focusing out towards team, not a bad call, but yeah, and this is what I was worried about right here. You see, there are some people that actually are moving. Good tags, really good laser there by Ethan. You have to be slightly worried of those sniper glints. Is going to get a nice double tap as well. Zone is going to push, but the boys are going to be able to look to rotate later. Yeah, zone does look like it's going to be far, but I mean, we easily have the, you know, the ability to make it work in terms of a rotate. And the other thing is also with how zone will pull here, you know, we don't have to necessarily look to rotate immediately, but looks like the boys are going to maybe potentially use a crash pad or two. Yep. Looks like the call is going to be to crash pad and go ahead and just go. Yeah, is in outer space, but ultimately is going to be making the move that he needs to. Do know that there's at least one team in this brick here. Being careful, but actually, no, look, it already looks like this team actually has already moved, and if anything, is potentially looking to continue to move towards high position. Now, this is scary, Sanjay, because it's pulling out over the lake, which means it's going to be wide open for teams that are rotating in late. Honestly, boys have to be very, very careful about how they look to move here. Could be detrimental. Honestly, potentially looking to use... Honestly, I don't know. I might use the shockwave here just to ensure that you get there safely, you know? Looks like we are going to just instead opt to build in. Not quite in zone, but we will be here. And we actually find ourselves with like a nice little head peek. They also are going to just be burning a little bit more material as well as they look to take Igloo. Unfortunately, is going to be not necessary as zone is going to be pulling out. Unfortunately, bad rotate in terms of where zone pulls, but we'll have to see what the boys look to do. If they do elect to run right, that should be fine, but they do need to be ready to move. It looks like they will opt to do so.
I think that is
16, is it 16 or 18 players left alive? Okay, I believe 18 players left alive, which means top 9, right? And like we said, placement is the top 5. Top 5 is where this is going to get really good in terms of points values, and that's what the boys need to be aiming for. Now, a good job by rotating this right side is going to mean that it is more or less dead, but they do have to be careful to make sure that there isn't any sort of team. Yep, they are going to see... Oh my god, an insane crack! They are going to potentially find one, is going to find one. Also, is going to find the slurp as well. Yep, is going to go ahead and probably pop that slurp and look to rotate. Kids are close by. Is the crack, but the boys actually need to be moving more than anything. Yep. We're going to be live with Ethan, who's taking the role of IGL as he looks to tarp us in. Yep. And the boys are finding themselves in zone. You know, less is more here. Not necessary to continue to move, especially with the odds that it pulls back or something, you know. Finding ourselves on the end here. Good, good. Okay. Now, zone is going to pull far now, but it is okay. We've got both the slurp, and we also have another form of rotation in terms of we have another shockwave set. Yep, and it does look like we're going to go ahead and eat the pizza.
13 players remaining.
Yep, 13 players remaining. Yep, potentially good. But zone is going to pull. Yep. There you go. Look at this rotation. Potentially big pump. Isn't going to go for it, though. Instead is going to elect to go up. But you do have to ask yourself, especially with how little we were connected, can we afford to really hold height? Does look like Jacob is going to potentially find himself up. Boys are pushing. Pushing in, finding 2 big eliminations as well. Do have to stabilize, though. Yep, and it looks like it's going to be the secondary pop. Boys finding themselves in a good position here, potentially to win this game. 11 alive. Don't have to do too much.
Grenades now. There are some.
Yep, need to focus more than anything on positioning. Yep, and the decision is to crank, and the boys are going to go for it. Especially given that it does look like it is pulling over, and this is definitely setting up to be a UMW win. Yep, as long as the boys continue to play effectively.
Good limbs right there all around.
Yep. Only 4 players left alive. And it is going to be last. Boys are going to be moving into positioning. But as zone continues to pull, that is going to be a big, but it is going to be the dub as well. And that is going to be UMW taking the quick dub in game number 2.
Looking at 8 or 7 kills, I believe it was.
Yeah, you know what? Definitely going to have to get the replay on that. But really quickly, we're going to go to a quick intermission so that we can make sure we save the replay and submit it. But that was a great game by the boys. All right, chat. We are waiting on what will be either our last code of the night, or if the code does not come down the pipeline in the next minute or two, probably looking to call it there at 2 games for lobby 1. That just means we will look to pick up and play 4 games on next Thursday, hopefully a little bit running smoother, looking to transition to a different form of point counting so that the lobbies can get up to date a little bit quicker. But don't go anywhere. We will explain with it in just a minute. But the boys are currently sitting at 147 points after 2 games. Just for some context, that is equivalent to winning the game both times with some elims on top. So definitely, in my opinion, I would say in probably the top 3 of teams currently that are playing within ECAC Week 1. So definitely very excited for the boys and for that leaderboard to come out. But just go ahead and wait for us just another minute, and then we'll be right back, and then we will go from there. All right, and unfortunately, we did get it through the grapevine. There will not be a game 3. Once again, thank you everybody for tuning in. Like I said, 147 points. We will definitely update y'all with where you're sitting, and you will come back for 4, not 3, exciting games of Fortnite next Thursday. Thanks for watching, everybody. I've been Mark, Classic Mark Link, Director of Esports here at the University of Mary Washington. And on my side commentary, we had...
It is Santi.
All right, Santi, and we will see you guys next week in terms of for the Duos build stream on Thursdays, but also make sure to check us out on Saturday as we take on Open 3 quals for NACE with some potentially, like I said, some fun costumes as well. But we will see you all then. Until then, get dirty and go wash.